Hey Raghunath, tell everyone about our Patreon community.
Sure, Kastuba. The Wisdom of the Sages Patreon community is an incredible online yoga resource. If you like the type of yoga wisdom and culture we share on the show, then our Patreon community is a great next step. This is a listener-supported podcast, and any level of sponsorship will unlock a wide range of live and archived classes, talks, and even workshops.
Raghunath teaches, I teach, and we have a host of other excellent teachers on topics ranging from yoga philosophy, asana classes, storytelling, Ayurveda, kirtan, cooking, meditation, and a lot more.
We even have an incredible online Bhakti 12-step recovery group.
So if you want to check it out, go to patreon.com/wisdom of the sages.
All right, let's get it on.
Om Namo Bhagavate Vasudevaya. Om Namo Bhagavate Vasudevaya. Om Namo Bhagavate Vasudevaya.
Live from Super Soul Farm, this is Wisdom of the Sages, a daily yoga podcast with your host, Raghunath, and co-host and senior educator at the Bhakti Center in New York, Kastuba. Welcome to the show, everybody. Welcome to Friday. Tell a friend Friday. Spread this word. Share, like, comment.
Drop a heart.
Drop a heart. How are you, Kastuba?
Good, Raghunath.
It's winding up or winding down, however you want to put it. But me and Mara getting ready to leave tomorrow. All my little kid is taking off tonight, Tarun.
Oh, take him to the airport?
No, actually, his mother came
drive the whole way, huh?
Bring him away.
Okay.
Sort of like an emotional day. So I had a date with him. We had a father-son date, which we like to do.
Did you just have serious talks?
No.
Serious father-son kind of stuff?
No.
Have you ever had a serious father-son talk?
Yeah, I have. It usually involves don't ever watch porn. Ever.
That's not like a serious talk. That's just like a warning.
You know, those warnings work. Parents, new parents, you just
traumatizes the kids
into their head again. Never, ever take drugs. No good comes from staying up after 10 o'clock. You make one mistake now, one little mistake, that can affect the rest of your life. It's a slow seep, these things.
I think it would have driven me crazy.
It might have, but they saved my life many times. I might have
rebelled against that.
I've never taken serious drugs. I think I'm careful where I swim.
Okay.
I don't.
All right.
You don't skip rope while eating stone fruit.
I don't skip rope eating stone fruit. Saved my life many times over. My mom is a whole barrel of wisdom. But anyway, we went to the trampoline park. I was like, you know what? I'll just sign up for 3 hours at the trampoline park. 45 minutes in, I was like, I gotta get out of here. I was like, I think our time's running out, Tarun. He's like, what are you kidding? What are you talking about? We've just only been here for about 45 minutes. I was like, no, you've got it all wrong. We've been here for about 2 hours or so. Time flies when you're jumping on this thing. Oh, God. Okay.
How do you feel this morning? Are you sore?
I'm a little like I've been on a trampoline for 3 hours. That's how I feel this morning.
Fair.
And it's not like that. He's like, okay, now do a backflip here and a backflip there and a backflip here. It's just like, and he's putting me through all these tests. I was like, listen, you're in the prime of your jumping life. And the weird thing is, it's like, I'm the only adult on I'm the only weird adult, especially when he runs off to jump somewhere else. Then I'm surrounded by a bunch of six-year-olds. I look like some creepy guy on the trampoline. Oh, God. It was good. How are you, Kastuba? Why don't you tell us about you walking around barefoot for 3 months? Have you ever put on shoes in 3 months?
2.5 months I haven't put on shoes.
2.5 months. What about socks? You walk around in socks? You have slippers?
None of that.
None of that. Just walking barefoot.
I've been fine.
It's a good feeling, isn't it?
Yeah.
It's not just grounding, people. It's not just touching the earth and getting the
Honoring the
negative
Dom,
ions or eons. It's honoring the sacred dust.
the holy place. Yeah.
The holy place, yeah.
I
Good for
liked
you.
it.
Good.
I liked it.
Good. Miss Mara, any announcements today?
Yeah, we have Bhakti recovery group meetings today at 12:30 and 1 o'clock Eastern time. And no show on Sunday or Monday.
Okay, we're back on Tuesday, huh?
We're gonna do the show tomorrow, though.
Yes.
All right.
And tomorrow's
Q&A.
Q&A day. So if people have questions, they can write to us at wisdomofthesages108@gmail.com.
Make them simple, please. Make them real simple.
All right, we got a nugget, Raghunath.
Okay. What do you think of my headband?
I thought it was
It's
a
not
hat.
quite
Now I
a
see it's
hat.
headband. It's okay.
I bought it for Mara for Christmas because somebody who listens to the show works for Patagonia, and they gave me a discount.
All
And
right.
it's not product placement. It's just I bought it for her, and I was cold because I shaved my head, and I wore it.
Okay.
Okay. That's where you're supposed to say, "Oh, it looks good." Okay. Yeah. Tomorrow the show's at 8 o'clock. So ready for nuggets, sir?
I am.
All right. This is an interesting one. It's from Kostuba. No, it's from Nathaniel Branden. You know who that is?
Yeah, he was a Canadian-American psychotherapist and a writer known for his work in psychology, the psychology of self-esteem.
Here's what he says.
Yeah.
Here's one of the things he says. The first step toward change is awareness. The second step is acceptance. Is right out of a intervention, isn't it?
It's interesting you say that. I don't know. I've never been to an intervention. Is that kind of, do they have a certain path that they walk in general?
I'm not positive. I know it's like people, usually it starts off like this. I invite you out to dinner. You show up at the
But then
dinner,
we
you're
don't
like,
get
oh,
there.
wait a second there. My uncle's here. Wait a second. My friend from California is here. Wait a second. And then you're like, oh, no.
What is this?
What's going on here? And you realize that there's a bunch of people in one room that you weren't expecting to see, and they all sit you down. They sort of like love you, and they all start to say, hey, look, we're here because we feel like you're going through a serious problem. Maybe you can't see it, but
You're not aware of.
You're not aware of
help
it.
you become aware.
Yeah, so the intervention is there when you are so oblivious. They don't always work, as far as I know, interventions, because some people just don't want to admit they have a problem.
Sure.
And so
but I guess sometimes the emotional weight of the whole thing makes them kind of give in.
Yeah. Yeah. And sometimes, whatever, if it's alcohol, they're all ready to order. If they're attached to alcohol, they're all ready to order a drink. Okay, I'm going to meet you, Kostuba, for dinner. I'm going to go out. We're going to get drinks. And wait a second. Then when you let me order a drink here, it's like a change up. You really, because alcohol can take an edge off your day, so to speak. And anyway, so that's an intervention. And of course, the only way that thing is going to work is if I get to the point where, like, well, these people love me. They must have my best interest in, and I'm going to accept what they say.
There's something about acceptance, of course, anything that we bring up, you can always flip it and turn it into a negative, right? Like, oh, acceptance just means you're not dealing with the world and being, determined or active or dynamic. There's always a place for that, for sure. But something about some deeper vision of accepting the world as it is and not always trying to shift it to adjust to the desires that are programmed in my mind, right? So this says the first step is awareness and the second step is acceptance. We're seeing in the Bhagavatam, we're seeing Chitraketu, he's been given this curse. It's like really, he had to accept that his son died, that was hard. He had no choice. He had to accept it. and now he's going to get cursed to take birth in a family of Asuras. You know, he's living a really beautiful life,
Oh yeah.
and it's almost like it's a life that's headed towards liberation, and now he's got to take another birth where it's like going the whole opposite direction, apparently, seems to be. And rather than fight it, he accepts. You know, you say intervention. What I thought of when I saw this was the 5 stages of grief. You know, the 5 stages of grief?
Yeah. Elizabeth Kubler-Ross.
I don't know.
Did she come up with these?
Could be.
Thank you, Mara. Mara validated that I was right.
It wasn't validating. It was just saying you're right.
That's what validation is.
It was validation of the statement, I suppose. Okay. So what are they?
Oh, I don't know them, but I know. Acceptance is the first one, I think.
No, that's the last.
No, that's
Oh,
the last one.
The last one. Okay.
Denial.
The last one.
These are the pre-acceptance. What are they called again? The 5 stages.
5
of grief?
stages of grief.
Yeah. Okay. So go.
Denial.
Denial. That's definitely not acceptance.
Anger.
Anger. That's also not acceptance.
Bargaining.
Can I have just 3 more days?
Depression.
Oh God.
And acceptance.
Then accept.
All right. Okay.
You know, now, from what I understand, those 5 stages of grief, are they commonly, is the context commonly like one hears like I've got cancer, or like one's own death, one's own mortality?
That's what I thought it was about death.
Yeah,
I-
I think so.
Terminal
Or like a
illness.
loved one that got died, you know.
Yeah, I was
I guess
thinking
it could be anything.
that's my point.
You lose all your money. No,
Yeah.
no way.
Denial. Yeah,
It's like,
then
you know, like
anger.
if you were caught up in the what's his name, the pyramid scheme guy, Madoff thing. You were like, no way. What? Then it goes to what? Anger.
Yeah.
Anger.
Oh, what?
I'm gonna kill that guy.
Kill that guy. And what's the third one?
Bargaining.
Come on, I'll take half of it. Give me half of it. And what else?
Depression.
This stinks.
And then acceptance.
God, hope he
It was
rots
meant to
in
be.
hell. Hope he rots in hell.
It's all God's. No, that's not accept. That's not what acceptance looks like.
Bitterness isn't acceptance.
That was anger.
Revenge and spite.
That went back to the anger. But yeah, I think you're right. We're gonna like let's take Chichikatsu right now. He's flying high. Life is good. He's doing good. He makes a statement about Lord Shiva.
Mhm.
Parvati is upset with the statement, and she curses him. And you know, a lot of ways he could have reacted. He could have said, "Oh, this can't be true. You wouldn't curse me." No. And then somebody said, "No, man, you better get it through your head. Parvati, she's like the personification of the material energy. Like when she curses, it goes through. So you better get ready. You're gonna take birth in the family of Asuras." And then he could have become angry. Like, who do you think you are to curse me? Like, what's the matter with you? Why would you,
Yeah.
you know? And then bargaining, like, okay, I admit I did something wrong, maybe, but come on, it really shouldn't be this level of, you know, of reaction for it. Let's talk about this. Let's work out something better. And then it could have gone into depression. You know, he could have just been miserable. He jumped immediately to acceptance.
Yeah, it's pretty
Right?
impressive.
Yeah,
It's pretty impressive.
like,
There are people like that in real time that do that. They go
Yeah.
right to acceptance.
yeah, and we're going to hear more today about the context in which he is able to do that. The broader context that he's accepting, because he's not just accepting that this is what Parvati did. He's accepting that ultimately God's behind everything, and ultimately God is benevolent at every step. So he's accepting it in that sense, and he's saying, "I don't blame you at all, Parvati," and we're going to hear about that. But you know, he was also, you know, going back to what Nathaniel Branden said, he's saying the first step towards change is awareness,
Mm.
and the second step is acceptance. So he was made aware of so much in the previous chapter, You know, he was made aware that my son isn't my son. My son is another living being like we all are, and we're going through many, many bodies, and I'm not this body, and I'm not the king, and so on and so forth. You know, he and that there is Lord Vishnu behind everything. He had a very deep level, excuse me, very deep level of spiritual awareness that he's working from, and from that platform, he's able to accept. You know, he's able to. He's not. How embarrassing it is, you know, like comedy is also based on that kind of thing a lot too, right? Where we see someone just can't accept their circumstances, and they fight it this way and they fight it that way, and they make a fool of themselves. He's not making a fool of himself at all. He just accepted, right? What are you laughing at?
Remember when George Costanza gets a toupee? He just couldn't accept it.
And then
and she rips it, and
Elaine
rips it off his head,
threw it out the window.
throws it out the window.
Yeah. So he couldn't accept. Okay, I lost my hair. He can't accept. He wants to change it. He wants to adjust it. You know, because he's got a false conception of who he is. Has a false conception of what will make him happy. He's thinking the toupee is going to help his self-esteem and help him get what he wants in life.
Yeah.
And so he makes an adjustment. It doesn't work. He makes a fool of himself.
Do you ever
Largely, that's what material existence
ever
is.
see these videos where people are mouthing off to the judge, and the judge has already said, "Okay, I sentence you for 3 days of 3 days in jail."
Okay,
you're like, "Oh yeah," and they start mouthing off. "Oh yeah, 3 days in jail." Okay, please, sir, that's what you're going to get. Otherwise, I'm going to hold you in contempt of court. He's still mouthing off. Okay, 5 days in jail. Oh yeah, and they keep on going, and there's like a year. It's amazing how it's like a refusal to accept. And then it just like complicates their life even more.
Right. Yeah. You know,
because it's a radical responsibility, like to go from the intervention to complete acceptance. You have to just take full responsibility. Whatever I've got. It's a hard thing to do. Well,
imagine, I think we can use these 5 stages of grief to just analyze our own response to any difficulty that we've had. I got a flat tire. Am I angry about it?
I'm in denial of it. I'm just going to keep
just keep driving.
Dad, your tire's a little low. No, it's not.
Am I angry? Am I depressed about it? What stage am I in?
Yeah,
or can I accept it?
What exit are you going to take off? Am I going to just take the depression exit and stay there for a while? Because sometimes we just stay at these.
Forever.
We stay at that exit and sit there in depression,
never come to acceptance.
in denial. What are the other ones?
Bargaining.
Yeah. So we'll sit and stay off on that exit and sit there. Sometimes for 40 years, we'll sit in anger or sit in depression or sit in over something that's really just trite.
Prabhu, I've seen devotees, even renunciates, still caught up over things that happened 40 years ago.
Me too. It's interesting. Just because you join the devotee club doesn't mean you're a liberated soul. It gives you information, but all these like real simple stuff that we're talking about right now, the real simple, it's the actual ABCs. Doesn't matter if you're a guru or a swami or anything. If you don't apply these basic ABCs, you might externally appear very evolved, but you'll hit a very low ceiling for your evolution. You can't be around the Bhakti for 40 years and still have resentment in your heart and how you were wronged. That stuff's got to be, you've got to come to terms with that.
And just imagine how much smoother our life will be if we learn to go straight to acceptance. I remember when I was a brahmachari, another brahmachari was sharing how you learn to go straight from intelligence into action. You bypass the manas, the impulsive mind with its desires and so on. You go straight from reasoning. You bypass the mind's demands and you go straight into action. This is similar, like there's some occurrence in your life, some reversal in your life. We heard yesterday that quote by Lord Brahma, to Prithu Maharaj, where he said kindly, I love the way he couches the whole thing. kindly take my words with great respect. He's not even saying respect me, right? But he's saying the words I'm about to speak to you, it's truth. Honor this truth, right? Respect this truth. He said we should always remember that if something happens by providential arrangement, we should not be very sorry about it, right? Saying it that way, you know, we should not
Right.
be depressed about it, right? The more we try to rectify such reversals, the more we enter into the darkest region of materialistic thought. Right? And whenever we're in that darkest region of materialistic thought, whenever there's like deep hostility and anger and resentment that we just can't let go of, that's completely colored our mind, you know, it's not making us feel any better. It's making us miserable. And it's commonly not even effective in changing anything. Just check ourselves, you know, just see, oh, I'm in anger. I'm in the anger stage. I'm not at the acceptance stage, right? I need to get to that acceptance stage to find relief and to accomplish the goal of human life, which is to focus my awareness on Krishna, you know, focus my awareness on truth. I'm even, like you're saying, even I bought into the whole, okay, I'm a bhakti yogi, you know, I got initiated, I got the name, I got the sadhana.
I know how to tie a dhoti. Big deal. Some of the men out there learn, well, I just learned how to tie a dhoti. Means nothing. Means nothing. Means something, but it means nothing in the bigger picture of why we're here. That's the thing, especially about Vedic culture. There's so many accoutrements of bhakti. Well, I gotta look at, like, you've got your chadaran thrown over your shoulder. We've got neck beads. We got, you know, various bead bags. I've got my Vulcan House Black Flag shirt on, Hare Krishna shirt on, which I was sporting at the trampoline park.
Okay. Did you walk in there thinking you're the coolest guy?
Somebody's going to call this out. Somebody's going to say, are you into Black Flag or are you into Hare Krishna or whatever? I thought I was going to get some reaction. I got nothing.
Maybe because the kids can't read yet.
Yeah. Oh, there he goes. We lost him. Come on back.
Sorry, Kastuba.
Oh, God. Oh, that was
He was
good.
too prone. He was all teed up there, and you just.
It was so embarrassing jumping with a bunch of 7-year-olds. Also, it's like I was just, 7-year-olds, like adults. So like if us three were on a trampoline together, we would be like, okay, Raghu's bouncing. I'm going to wait a little bit until he's done. And then I'm going to go on. Not 5-year-olds. They're just like running. They don't understand that my jump could propel them to another planet. They could break their neck. And they're just like running straight across my trampoline. And then they're cutting in line. I was like, okay, kid, there's a queue here. Come on. And they're like, I don't even know what a queue is. Oh my God. Okay.
All right, you ready?
All right. Yes. Where are we?
Okay. So why don't we go ahead and chant the mantras and start reading the Bhagavatam.
Narayanam namaskritya dharam chaiva narotamam devim saraswatim vyasam tato jayam mudirayat. Before we start in the Srimad Bhagavatam, which are very means of conquest, which are very respectful obeisances to the Supreme Lord Narayan, unto Narayan Rishi, the supermost human being, unto Mother Saraswati, the goddess of learning, and to Srila Vyasadeva, the author. Nasta prayeshu badreshu nityam bhagavat sevaya bhagavati tamashloke bhaktir bhavati naishtiki. By regular attendance in classes in the Bhagavatam and by rendering service to the pure devotees, all that is troublesome in the heart will become eradicated, and loving service to the Supreme Lord, who is praised with transcendental songs, will be established as an irrevocable fact. Om Gyana Timarandasya Gyananjana Salakaya Chaksurun Militam Yena Tasmai Shri Gurave Namaha. I was born in the darkness of ignorance, and my teachers are opening my eyes with the torchlight of knowledge. I offer my obeisances at their lotus feet. Reading from the Srimad Bhagavatam, Canto 6, Chapter 17. Text 7. Oh, I get it. 1717. That's a good luck.
Okay, so now we're going to get Chitraketu's response. He's just been cursed. She's Durga Devi. She can say what she wants, you know. Yeah. But she was very sarcastic. You know, that kind of thing hurts when someone gets all sarcastic. She was saying stuff like, "Oh, is it that Lord Brahma no longer understands Dharma and the four Kumars don't, and you're the person now? Is that the? Is that, you know?" It's like
Yeah.
it was very sarcastic, and it came, and
Cutting.
not only, yeah, very cut, and not only that, but it came with this very heavy consequence. You go lower, you go down, right? In your universal situation, you take birth in the family of asuras now. You won't even have the association of devotees that way. The thing that you treasure most, the thing that you treasure most for your heart, the thing that you treasure most for your shelter in life, the association of the bhakti yogis, no, you're not going to get that.
Mm-mm.
You're going to go down. You're going to go into the sangha and be born into the family of asuras. Whoa, you know, that's hard to. There was no denial. There was no anger. There was no bargaining. There was no depression. He went straight into acceptance. We're going to see that right now.
Impressive. Chitraketu said, "My dear mother, with my own hand," my dear mother's talking to the goddess. "My dear mother, with my own hands folded together, I accept the curse upon me. I do not mind the curse, for happiness and distress are given by the demigods as a result of one's past deeds."
Boom. So there's a
You ever heard these
philosophy
like?
behind it.
Have you ever heard these like Amish people? Like somebody murders their son, and then
Yeah,
they like forgive the person immediately and welcome them into their family, and
that's really something.
forgiveness. Because when we're talking about getting off on the exit of before acceptance, we get off of the exit of anger, get off the exit of resentment and bitterness. Like those are serious exits that ruin people's spiritual life and material life. You
Yeah.
walk around bitter, angry for how you've been wronged.
I mean, again, like you and I both know of people that are practicing bhakti yoga that are to this day bitter about stuff that just doesn't matter.
It doesn't even matter.
You know, at least at this stage, it doesn't matter, but it's
And
still there.
still comes out in their conversation. It's like, really?
Sometimes it comes out like in every conversation.
It's so true. It's so true. You don't even have to go very deep.
Yeah.
Okay.
So, I want to share a little something here, Raghunath, from the commentary. So Prabhupada writes, this is part of the background about why Chitraketu could immediately go straight to acceptance. Even though he was insulted, it was insult and injury. He got them both, right? So Prabhupada wrote a devotee is always eager to return home back to God and remain there as the Lord's associate. This ambition, this is nice. Listen to this one, Raghu, okay?
Yeah.
This ambition becomes increasingly fervent in his heart. And therefore, he does not care about material changes in his life. So as one thing is going up, it's a scale, right? As one thing is rising, the other thing is setting. As one thing's going up, the other's going down. So as the genuine hankering I have in my heart for the association of Krishna in the spiritual realm, as that goes up, as that becomes more and more fervent, my concern, what to speak of my anger, resentment, bargaining, depression, about the changes of this world goes down, right? And so Chitraketu's his spiritual ambition, his spiritual desire was so high that even such a serious thing, he went straight to acceptance. Right? Okay.
This is big stuff here.
My dear mother, I like the way he says that too, you know?
Yeah. Deluded by ignorance.
Imagine if we just like our listeners here, right? If we just all did a little test, a little experiment. We said the next time someone insults me, I'm going straight to acceptance.
Well, get on your knees and just put your hands in namaste and say, you know what, I accept
Say, my dear mother. What are you talking about?
Amy's
Your
still
mother.
saying, no way.
Why are you calling me
no
mother?
way." Some people are presently being, harmed, and they're like, it's hard. Yeah. Anyway, let's go.
I mean, just try that. Just see how much. How am I capable of shooting straight to acceptance, or do I just not have that in me? Or can I at least move through the stages quickly? Okay, got
Or
anger, but I
sometimes
let go.
maybe a person isn't like traumatizing us, robbing us, but they're just speaking ill of us or trying to complicate our life.
Annoying.
Just annoying us. Can we just be like a duck's feathers? Do you pour water on a duck? Ever pour water on a duck, Esteban?
I do it all the time, Rogan.
It beads off and rolls off their back. I've done it. And yeah. Can I sort of have like a protective bubble, not caring what people think of me? What a liberating statement. Can I not care? Right? It's none of my business what they even think of me. That's okay. Can I not
It's insignificant.
engage?
Okay.
Okay.
Text 18.
Text 18, deluded by ignorance, the living entity, that's the soul, wanders in the forests of this material world. That's what this material world is, like a forest. Enjoying the happiness and the distress resulting from his past deeds. Everywhere and at all times. Enjoying the happiness and distress. Therefore, my dear mother, neither you nor I am to be blamed for this incident.
Very interesting.
Right? He's accepting, what?
Some
My life is
deeper.
in divine hands. Whatever I got now, I got. It's like
I'm not a victim.
Whatever I've got, I've got. Now what? Now what am I going to do with what I got?
Okay.
Instead of like, I shouldn't have got this. This is horrible. It's unfair. You should have never have done this to me. What do you think you are? Don't you know who I am? How about I got what I got? Now what am I going to do? Now how am I going to react so I can have a healthy, positive, progressive, evolutionary life? Make some better choices.
You get what you get?
And don't be upset.
Okay.
It's a good one, huh? It's a great one. It's a great
Is that
one
a
for
Rogan
kids.
Thon?
It's sort of like, I don't know, the Waldorf school. I don't know if it was the Waldorf school, but it was all the parenting community when the kids were little. I want the blue one.
What if at the end of
I
the
want
month
the
when-
blue one. You get what you get, and don't be upset.
What at the end of the month when you had to pay the tuition fee for the kid?
That's when I start to say, why me? It's not fair.
No. I'm saying you tell the school, you get what you get, and don't be upset.
Get what you get, and don't throw a fit. That's a good one too, Saraswati. Thank you.
You get what you get, and don't throw a fit.
Force it to rhyme.
Okay, text 18. Oh, no. Text 19.
What? Text. In this material world, neither living entity himself nor others, friends and enemies, are the cause of material happiness and distress. But that means like the situational up or down, right?
Yeah.
But because of gross ignorance, the living entity thinks that he and others are the cause.
Okay.
Meaning we might have distress in our mind, but here it's saying like, suppose I'm, walking down the road and there's a hole and I trip and fall in the hole. It's not my fault. It's not like we're always trying to, especially in this litigious world, we're always trying to, who's responsible for this? We want to take somebody down to stake our claim.
And I think, and even that one is like, it's more indirect. Like, okay, I fell down the hole, it might look like, well, I'm the one to blame.
Right.
But even if someone does something like here, Parvati chose to curse him severely. So even in that circumstance, he's saying she's not the cause. There's something behind her.
Right.
Right. And that's a key to acceptance. Right there.
Even when something happens to you deliberately.
Yeah.
And this is a huge one because it's like, wait, she's cursing me, or like, this actually happened. They're seeing a much bigger picture. They're seeing a divine hand, an otherworldly, celestial, divine hand in what's going on, and that helps unstick like the mucoid plaque of my heart which
Yeah.
is stuck on there where I'm trying to find the devil, and
Right.
it's not a devil, it's an angel. There's actually God working through situations and people to uplift me. Don't blame the person. Go right to something bigger and say, what am I going to get out of this? What is there for me in this situation?
Yeah.
And
Key to
that is
acceptance.
actually what liberates people. That's what makes people's hearts become pure. It's like seeing, oh, this is benevolent. Somehow, this is benevolent. This is going to bring me to where I have to go. There's something I have to let go of in my mind, in my entitlement, in my privilege. There's something I have to see bigger than me.
I think a lot of it has to do with getting used to thinking that way, and then it becomes more and more natural, right? Like let's even say within in the world that like you and I have lived in for a long time, Raghunath, like the world of relations between bhakti yogis within institutions or within various types of settings where
The
we
communities,
take on
any
different
communities.
where we play different roles, right?
Sure.
And so always someone has to be in charge, someone has to be in charge of the whole project, someone has to be in charge of this department of it.
Not in my
And
communist utopia. Come join me.
and even then, just like when you want to cooperate with others, you get disappointed. You get, sometimes you get removed from a position that you feel you've earned, or you feel you can do better than someone else,
Does that happen to you?
It's happened to me, and it's happened to practically everyone I know at one point or another, And then there's always some, sometimes that's done with respect and done relatively smoothly. Sometimes it's done in a more callous way.
Mercilessly, like pack your bags, clear your desk.
Yeah.
Ever had one of those? Clear your desk.
I've never had a desk, but
Has it happened to you? Have you ever been fired, Mara? No. Okay, forget it.
But
it's happened to somebody here.
But those are the kind of things that there can be long lasting.
Oh yeah.
At worst hostility. And lesser than that, even just awkwardness. Like I don't really have any place in my heart for this person anymore, and whenever I see him, it's awkward and just makes the whole life a little bit more gloomy. And whereas like if this key to acceptance, it's not on that person, even if it was wrong, even if it was miscalculated, even if it was done callously. I'm seeing someone further behind that person, the divine hand behind that person that moved my world. And that's Krishna's loving, soft, loving lotus hand. I accept it completely. Now I'm no longer bearing the weight of that hostility, and my mind becomes free, to be peaceful and to be absorbed in bhakti. And without it, it's like you're trying to swim across a river and you got weight, you're carrying this weight. It's slowing you down. So Chitraketu, he didn't have it at all. He just went straight to acceptance, and he's sharing the keys to it of why he's capable of doing this. Because I know it's not you that just did this to me. There's a divine hand behind it all, and I accept it. I accept my own responsibility in it. That whatever misery comes across my path in life, that it's a reaction to my previous actions, and I accept that ultimately God's behind it all, and that it's all meant for my own, for the elevation of my own awareness. I accept. Text 20.
This material world resembles the waves of a constantly flowing river. Therefore, what is a curse and what is a favor?
Oh, he's taking it to the next level, Raghunath.
Yeah, it's like, don't you understand?
It's not even like there's good and bad in this world. It's a thing that's just always shifting, always changing, always moving.
It's all good. I hear people say that. It's all good. It actually is all good.
And
What
keep
are the
going.
heavenly plan? I'm just thinking about
All
this.
right.
What are
Start it
the
again. Start it again.
This material world resembles the waves of a constantly flowing river. Therefore, what is the curse and what is the favor? What are the heavenly planets and what are the hellish planets? What is
Yeah.
actually happiness and what is actually distress? Because the waves flow constantly, none of them has an eternal effect. So interesting, huh? When you're dealing with all this, you know, you deal with like astrology and counteracting malefic planets and yogis who want to ascend to higher planets. And um, in Bhakti Yoga, we accept all these things. They actually work. This mystical stuff, this metaphysical stuff actually works. But for a devotee, we're in the process anyway. The idea is we give up that and desire for sense gratification, and we just want to be of service. And where can I be of service? Can I only be of service in Beverly Hills or what's it called in Bombay? The Malabar Hills?
Malabar Hills.
Malabar Hills? No, you could be of service in the ghetto. You could be of service anywhere. And that's what, so you want me to take birth on hell? Okay, if that's where I can serve. You want me to take birth in this situation? Yeah. You've got this task in front of me. Okay. That's how you want me to serve? Okay. I trust you. It's however I can serve, please let me serve. And that's why they say Krishna Bhaktas are always peaceful in this world.
Oh, yeah. We're going to get Lord Shiva is about to give us that verse.
He's about to lay that one out.
Yeah. But also we have here, Prabhupada writes here, he says the so-called temporary happiness of this, because Chitraketu, let's go back to where he was, right? It said he was the king of the Vidyadharas, this race of, interplanetary, beautiful beings.
Yeah.
And he's flying around with like beautiful Vidyadhara women, and it sounds like life is pretty good, and somehow it's still tied in with his spiritual quest. Somehow it seemed like he was getting both the best worlds, right? It was like he was deeply spiritual, and at the same time he was like in an incredibly beautiful, pleasant material circumstance. And Parvati on a dime turns the whole thing around. And
it's called a supercar fail, Kastuba. One moment you be driving a supercar, next minute, boom, spin out.
Yeah. And from his perspective, he's like, it's okay, because even when I was flying in my spiritual airplane with all the beautiful Vidyadhara women, I knew that my happiness is not tied to this at all, and that this could change in a moment. I had already understood and accepted that. So when the curse came, he's like, yeah, this is a constantly changing river. I'm expecting that it is going to change.
Mm-hmm.
So Prabhupada writes, the so-called temporary happiness of this world is also misery, but in ignorance we cannot understand this. This is the actual position. You can just read over this, or you can actually begin to apply to life and see just what a deep truth there is in it. When one comes to their senses, when they become Krishna conscious, they're no longer concerned. This is maturity here. They're no longer concerned with the various conditions of this material world. They are not concerned with happiness or distress, curses or favors, or heavenly or hellish planets. They see no distinction between them. It's all material energy in a constant state of flux. He understands this deeply.
This stuff can save your life, Kastuba.
It sure can, Raghunath.
Because our life is like destroyed by these things that we're talking about earlier. These things that stay in your mind, this resentment, this bitterness, this anger, this frustration, this denial.
We all know people like that.
Yeah.
Sometimes
I'm not above it. I'm not above it. I get resentful and angry. I get bitter. Okay. I'm in denial. Talk to Mara. She'll tell you. Tell him.
No.
Oh,
no.
I tell her. I plan this whole little thing, and I'm gonna say I get angry too, and you're gonna say no.
Mayor, just blink if
blink twice if he's lying.
You're being made to say this.
Does he have a weapon? Carrying a weapon.
Have a hatchet. All right.
It's not even a hatchet, right, Mara? It's like a small axe.
Yeah.
Should we stop here or should we read one more?
56. Mara says one more.
Okay.
I like it when Mara's like, yeah, let's keep it going.
Text
'Cause usually
21.
you're like, let's back it up. Text 21. The Supreme Personality of Godhead is one.
One.
Unaffected is one. Unaffected.
One.
What's that from?
Public Enemy #1.
Oh, yes. I was like, one. The Supreme Personality of Godhead is one, unaffected by the conditions of the material world. He creates all the conditioned souls by his own personal potency. Because of being contaminated by the material energy, the living entity is put into ignorance and thus into different conditions of bondage. Sometimes by knowledge, the living entity is given liberation. In Sattva Guna and Rajaguna, he is subjected to happiness and distress.
Okay. This is, again, let's go back to the beginning, Raghunath.
Yeah.
First step is awareness. Second step is acceptance. He's sharing his awareness. He's sharing his awareness of how the universe functions. And with that awareness, acceptance has just become easy for him. He can shoot straight from the circumstance, bypass all the 5 stages of grief, denial, anger, bargaining, and depression, and shoot straight for acceptance. And that's a beautiful soul. That's someone that's learned the lessons in life. That's someone that's moving through here with grace. That's someone that can help us kind of get our lives in, straightened out.
It's interesting. In his previous life, Chitraketu actually went through those processes. He was in denial. Of
He
having
did.
kids. He got angry. He bargained. Please just bring the soul back so I can say goodbye to the soul.
Yeah. But now he's at a different level of awareness. So when he got tested again, he was ready.
I think you've went through a lot of stuff in your previous life because you're pretty even-minded and steady. I think this is the life I'm going through it all. This is the life I'm here to learn lessons. And then, in my next life, I'll take birth in a family of devotees and they'll teach me how to offer incense with love.
I think you're doing it
This
in
might
this
be your
life.
last birth,
I think
Kastuba.
the astrologer said that this was, what did he call it?
He did say I had, what's it
What
called?
was
Moksha yoga.
Which means you're liberated in
I'll
this
be
life.
liberated in this lifetime. But I think I got maybe got some big lessons coming because I definitely haven't learned my lessons.
There's still a lot to go
Talk
through
to
in this
Mara.
lifetime.
I've never put away. I take out the oat milk and I leave it out like on a regular basis. I can't get back to Godhead unless I get right.
Unless you put the oat milk back in the fridge.
That's an issue, Raghunath. That's an issue. It's a good thing Mara's there.
Help me learn these lessons. But I think you've learned a lot of these lessons, Kastuba. I vote for Kastuba.
I'm trying, Raghunath. I'm trying.
Back to Godhead in this lifetime. Might be some subtle things I don't see that only you know of.
Oh, there's all kind of things here, Raghunath. I haven't become humble. I haven't
Really?
become tolerant. Yeah.
You got a good point there. Yeah.
There you go.
I never thought about that.
More humble than a blade of grass, more tolerant than a tree, wanting no respect from others, offering all respect to others.
Well, if it helps, I'll stop giving you respect if that helps.
Okay. That might make me want it more.
Good point. All right, I'll give you more respect then. You'll be like,
Oh, now it sounds like I want respect. You see, no matter what
Yeah.
I do.
It's a slippery fish.
It is.
All right. Oh
Energy.
man, I wasn't expecting to laugh this much this morning. I still can't get this vision of me of yesterday running around a trampoline with a bunch of 5-year-olds. All the adults are sitting on the side, like on their phone, having a cup of coffee. I was like, I'm the only one who's gonna do this with the kids.
Was it like Kramer doing karate with? Like,
It was like Kramer doing karate. And it's not like I'm like a 30-year-old parent. I'm like a 57-year-old parent with a white beard. I look like Santa Claus on this trampoline, freaking the kids out.
And no one mentioned your Black Flag Krishna shirt.
And no one, maybe
That hurt.
I couldn't read. That was funny, Mara. Sometimes Mara really comes out of the gates with a funny. one-liner. Okay.
All right.
Oh, Krishna.
Hey, quiz. I got some good stuff today.
Righty.
Awareness, then acceptance.
That was our
Awareness, then acceptance. Okay.
nugget. Yeah.
God is behind everything and benevolent at every step.
Okay. Keep that
Work-
in mind right there.
Yeah.
Oh.
Work from spiritual awareness to accept everything.
Shoosh. Sheesh.
Material existence is just embarrassing.
I love that. That's a t-shirt. I'll wear that shirt. I'll wear that to the trampoline park.
Bypass the first 4 stages of grief and go straight to acceptance.
Straight to acceptance.
Sort of said that already.
As spiritual ambition rises, resentment, anger, and depression decreases.
Mm-hmm.
You get what you get and don't be upset.
Love it. I mean, that could be the whole Bhagavatam, almost. One of the cantos. One canto is, you get what you get and don't be upset. And that's finished. Next.
See the divine hand working to uproot the mucoid plaque on the heart.
Like that? Mucoid plaque of the heart?
What kind of plaque is it?
Mucoid.
Mucoid. I've never heard
Google
that
it. It's a
before.
word.
Does
Okay.
that go on the heart? I thought it was.
Is
in the
it?
gut.
Is it, Raghunath? We're gonna look
Well,
it up.
they say it's in the colon, but
How do you spell it?
mucoid, mucoid plaque.
Mucoid stool. Mucoid denigration.
Let me be the squirrel of the show, Kashuba. You stay on point. You're doing.
Oh, here it
good
is.
with
Mucoid
that.
plaque.
There we go.
Oh, mucoid plaque is a pseudoscientific term.
I'm a scientist of sorts. A
He's a
pseudo-
part-time pseudoscientist.
Used by some alternative medicine advocates. Raghunath, what do you bring up forward here?
I'm sorry I don't subscribe to your big pharma.
Okay. All right.
However and wherever I could serve, please let me serve.
Oh, that's so
there you go.
nice. Something Santa Claus would say.
Is it?
I think
Is
so.
it?
And
And
my dear mother, I accept.
My dear mother.
my dear mother, I accept.
Mother, I just killed a man. Pull the trigger,
Tainting
now
our
he's
whole, you're
dead.
tainting our whole Bhagavatam with Queen.
Life had just begun.
Now you throw it all away. Mara,
Ooh.
please make me a pie. If you don't, then I will surely die. Berry apple or rhubarb.
Doesn't really matter.
Thanks everybody for joining us. Thanks everybody joining us live. Great to have a live crew here too. Going out on the airways, it's Tell a Friend Friday. Make sure you tell somebody about the show. Right now you can do it. You can just forward it. Hey, I think you'll like this. Here's a link. Go to YouTube, send them a link. People have a lot of downtime. Some people work in toll booths. They have all day down. Some people work in places where they can actually
Help them.
listen to things. So some people go on long bike rides and want something in their head. You just share it with somebody. Don't overthink it. They might just share. They might not like it, but they'll share it with somebody else. You'd be surprised how this stuff gets around. You'd be surprised how many people just drizzle into this podcast. It's amazing. I want to thank everybody out there. Go to Apple Podcasts today. Some of you haven't done it, and I know who you are because Apple Podcast tells me these things. And give us a 5-star review. Tell us how you got here, why you like the show, and some appreciation. It helps our algorithm somehow. And I read them all. I read them all because Stuba does too.
I do.
And thank you for everybody who supports us. I want to give a thanks. Sometimes I don't say it enough. We have a very supportive crew, a beautiful community, and you give from your heart, and I appreciate that. If you'd like to give to the community, you can go to patreon.com/wisdom of the sages. Give a monthly tithing. Good tithings of, is that what it is? Tithings of comfort and joy? Oh, that's
That's
good
tidings.
Okay, is it give a monthly tiding or tithing?
No, that's a
Two
tithe.
different words.
They're completely different words, have nothing to do with each other, but they're both within a Christian context.
Tidings? Give me tithings. Give tithings. Give me your tithing. Oh.